Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And today we're going to get into part one of setting up your solar system for your off-grid life. So some of the things that you need to have are going to be, of course, a charge controller, an inverter, and a battery charger. Now everything is built into one on these. Now, WattCycle has just released one of these. They've made one of their own, and I can't wait to review it. I've spoken to my company rep, and she said that she's going to work on getting one sent out to me. So stay tuned for that coming up. But for today, right now, we're going to talk about batteries. What batteries should you get for your system? Okay. Now, I originally started with, way back in the early days, I started with lead acid batteries covering all of these shelves. And you can see they're black where the acid had run over and corroded the wood. Just total mess. But I got through my first, I don't know, 8 years, I guess, 7 or 8 years working off of those batteries. And you had to have one of these, and you had to buy distilled water all the time. And had to do services on them. And I used to write the service dates and that stuff up there on the wall. So, yeah, 2018 is when I started, so that's what, 8 years ago? So, there you go. 8 years I got, I put those batteries in, but I switched over in 2025. I switched over to, first I went with these batteries. These are 12 volt, 230 amp hour. And I had problems with those. One of the things is that when I hooked these things up in series to make 48 volts, I still only had 230 amp hours. And that's just not enough to run this whole place. Okay, so the minimum I need is 300 amp hours. So that's 70 amp hours too low with those four together. Now I may sell those down the line, but what I'm going to do to keep them right now is, because if I get the new all-in-one that I have to do a review on, I may hook this one up, clear a spot and hang it on the wall here and hook it up to these panels or these batteries and let it keep on running and keep my settings, so I don't have to do settings all over again if I decide to switch back. Now if I don't switch back and I stay with the new WattCycle all-in-one, then that one will end up going up for sale because I won't need it here. So back to the batteries again. I wandered off there for a minute. Okay, my recommendation is, if you're going to get started on putting your solar system together, go with the rack batteries. Okay, these are smart additions. They have Bluetooth built in. They have 100 amp BMS. They're 51.2 volts, which is a 48 volt battery, 100 amp hours. And they have the connections here. They have their own built-in breaker. They got a nice screen here where you can see what's going on for everything that's going on in your battery pack. These down here are WattCycle batteries also. These are big, heavy-duty units. These are for golf carts. And they have these little monitors, so you could put a monitor up on your dashboard so you don't have to keep pulling the seat up to look at what your batteries are doing. So you can just see it right there on your monitors. Now, those batteries, if that's all you can afford, they'll work. But you can get 4 of them tied together to give you 400 amp hours, not 300. Because 300 is a little bit, well, I ran on 300 for a while. I got by with it, but I couldn't run a lot of things for long periods. I had to shut things off when the sun went down so that I could maintain my batteries through the night. Once I added this one on top of it all, and I checked with WattCycle before I did, they said yes, it's compatible, you can do that. I added this one, and this one becomes the master automatically. So this one controls all 4 of them now. It's doing all of the work for me just having this. Now, if you have only these batteries, you can notice that 3 of those take up a lot of space. And I can't put them on top of each other. Those things be up, way up here. So that can't do that. But they are powerful, and those do hold a lot of power. This unit charges faster than those. You can see this one's at 100% already, and these are still down in the 87 to 89%. Okay? So they'll charge to 100% before the day's over, but this one's already there. They charge, these rack batteries charge faster. Now, one of the things that you need is a 48 volt charger, 15 amp charger, because all LiFePO4 batteries are mailed or shipped at a reduced level. They're not 100% charged. And before you hook them up to anything, you want them to be 100% charged. Now, in some instances, WattCycle will actually, if you buy enough batteries, you buy a group of batteries together, they'll give you a free charger. They'll toss in a charger for free on that as an added bonus. Now, I don't know if they still do that or not, so don't take my word for it, and don't say, well, G Bear said I can get one for free. I'm saying they used to do that. I don't know if they still do. You'll have to check with your sales rep when you put an order through. Now, in the description of my videos, when I do my videos, I leave a link to WattCycle that also gives you a discount, an automatic discount of 6 to 8%, depending on where you live at. And I also am an affiliate, so I am good for Europe, Great Britain, Canada, the United States, different states in the United States, and even Australia now. So you people in Australia who watch my channel all the time, let me know if you need a discount code or anything like that to buy your batteries, because I know Australia is more expensive than the United States. So, you know, a 6% discount on buying some rack batteries would really add up some bucks for you, right? So, that's what we're doing on the batteries now. So, the other nice thing is, if you buy batteries like these golf cart batteries, okay, they recommend that you don't go more than like 3 months before adding another battery to it, because the new battery will be more powerful than the others, and you'll cause an imbalance of power across all your batteries. But with the rack batteries, you can start off with 3 or 4, and then down the line you say, well, I should like to have a little extra power. So you can add another one to it. And you can go up to 20. You can put 20 of these in parallel together. All right? Now that's a good deal. Being able to have 20 of these 100 amp hour batteries is going to give you 20,000, let's see, 20 or 2,000 amp hours. 20 times 100 is 2,000. Yeah. So you're going to have 2,000 amp hours and you multiply 2,000 amp hours times 51.2 volts, and that'll tell you how many watt hours you have. Now, for those of you who get confused when you hear amp hours and watt hours, it's very simple. Don't let that scare you. An amp hour is how many amps you can run in 1 hour. Okay? A watt hour is how many watts you can run in 1 hour. So with this one battery, will handle 5,120 watts in an hour without any charge coming into it. Okay? So think about if you had a 100-watt floodlight light bulb. You can run 51 of them on this battery for an hour. 51 100-watt. Oh, I kicked up some dust here. I got to get in here and do some dusting. So anyway, that's the idea on batteries, okay? So I would recommend, if you're going to get your system started and you don't have a lot of money to start with, get at least 3 of these. At 300 amp hours is going to give you adequate power to run things, and you'll have to shut things off at night, but you'll be able to just basically live comfortably. Add a 4th one, and you have a lot more power. At 10 o'clock at night, I still have 100% in all 4 of these batteries at 10 o'clock at night. I can turn on ceiling fans and go to bed and sleep comfortably with a ceiling fan blowing, and get up in the morning and I still have 81 or 85% of my batteries still available. And then let the sun charge them for a little while, and I can turn on air conditioning once the sun comes out. We'll get into controlling with the all-in-one controllers and how you could set those things up so that they take solar power first, and they run your house on, or your cabin or house on solar power first, and then batteries second. So your batteries will sit fully charged all day long while your solar panels are putting power directly from your controller into your electrical panel. It's a beautiful way to live. So, yes, get your batteries, get your cables. I recommend at least a size 1 cable right there. Okay. Now they give you smaller cables with them, and you can use those. They will handle the amps that you're going to pull. But I like a little bit heavier, so there's absolutely no voltage loss between my battery bank and my controller. All right. If you have any questions and comments, leave them below, and I will be sure to get back to you as quickly as possible. And stay tuned, because we're going to do a whole series now, starting with batteries and then going to controllers and going into breakers and switches and stuff like that, and how you can monitor different things. Going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to make it easy for you to understand, so you're not fully confused, okay? Like I said, simply, if you can afford it, start off with rack batteries, because you can add to those down the line. Even if it's 6 months or a year down the line, you want to add another one of these, stick it on. The number 1 battery you already have is the master, and it will take on the new one, and it'll do all the settings for you to make sure it controls that battery charging and discharging in the most efficient way. Can't beat it. Top of the line equipment. All right. So that's it, everybody. I will see you on the next one. This is G Bear signing off.